Well, I think it's recognised by most people in Chesterfield that the old Queen's Park Sports Centre is out of date, not fit for purpose now. And when we came to control, had made a clear commitment to modernise the facilities at the Queen's Park Sports Centre. We got an open mind at that time as to whether we could do a refurb or whether we could do a partnership working with somebody from the private sector, or whether or not we needed to look at a new build. And having considered all the options, we went for new build. At that time it was limited because of the amount of funds available to us, but we set the officers with the task to give us an opportunity to build new, and they came up with the goods, and they've worked extremely hard from that first day to the present time to deliver this brand new Queen's Park Sports Centre facility in the annex at Chesterfield. Well, we've certainly pulled out some of the subsidies that were in the two leisure centres at Queen's Park and at Healthy Living Centre. £1.2 million a year was being put into subsidising the facilities available for sports and leisure. People need to recognise that it's not a mandatory service for this council to provide leisure facilities, but we've got a very big commitment to it. So we've managed through the last 2 or 3 years to pull out the subsidies by different workforce methods and reducing the workforce. That is the money that will help us not only to keep the general fund afloat, but also to pay whatever public sector borrowing that we need to make for the new Queen's Park Sports Centre. I mean, the Sport England grant is a massive vote of confidence for our facilities in Chesterfield. This is the premier sporting activity, sporting organisation in the country, and their expression of support has amounted to £2 million in grant, the maximum possible from that particular funding stream. And it was a big surprise to get 2 million. We'd asked for anything between 1 million and 2. But it will give us the opportunity to move from a previously determined six court sports centre and 6-lane swimming pool to the 8 that we'll get in both circumstances. We would have continued if we had not got that £2 million. We'd got everything in place initially. The planning application was for the 6-court and 6-lane swimming pool. As soon as we got to know that the £2 million grant was in place, we had to reapply for planning permission because it was a significantly bigger footprint to the build. And whilst we would have continued, it wouldn't have been as big a facility. It would still have been a better facility than the old sports centre, but this makes it a significant improvement in the leisure services that we can provide in Chesterfield. Well, the new facilities will now, as a consequence of this latest grant from Sport England, will now be an 8-lane swimming pool, an 8-court sports hall, and many other additional ancillary activities. As a consequence, there will be a 2-court squash court with a movable wall that will open up that space for other facilities, and we are hoping and expecting to work with the NHS indeed for the provision of some baby mother services in the sports centre. But of course, the other thing to recognise is that the Chesterfield College are an equal partner with us, and we will be providing facilities that get young men and women from behind their computer screens and their gaming machines to get out into the areas of sporting activity and help to deal with the health and well-being of our young people as well as our other residents. Well, the first thing that it does for me is by providing the additional facilities, it gets rid of the argument from those people that surprisingly were opposed to a new build, that there will be domination by the students in the facility. Now everybody must see that there will be open access to the public as well as the students in this new facility, and that's something that I'm quite pleased about. Whilst we would have ensured that public use was always available in the 6-lane and 6-court process, this now demonstrates without question that there will be opportunity for every member of the public in Chesterfield that wants to use the facilities to get in there and use them without any question of being denied because of the students. For me, the biggest thing is the fact that Sport England, as I've said, the premier sporting organisation in this country, have openly said how pleased and how possibly they thought the best process of thinking through a project they've ever met up with. And that is a clear example of the commitment from our officers and the politicians directly involved in putting this new facility in place. Absolute commitment, total professionalism, and I look forward to the day when this facility is recognised as being a massive advantage for Chesterfield, as indeed the Staveley Healthy Living Centre is at this point in time. At Sport England were very impressed with the way that people in Chesterfield Borough Council had put this project together.